Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, my friends, whenever you are watching this video. Welcome back to another math time with me, Miss X. I am super excited to have you all here again. Let's begin by looking at our objectives. Remember, our objectives is always broken up into three separate parts so we know exactly how we're going to do something, what it is that we need to understand about it, and then lastly, why we're doing it or why it's important. Let's go ahead and read. You may read with me or in your head as I read out loud to you. I will use compensation and mini number bonds to make a 10 or 100 to simplify the original number sentence in order to solve more quickly. Let's take a bit of a dive into what compensation is. Compensation is a simplifying strategy where we add or subtract the same amount to or from both numbers to create an equivalent but easier problem. I'll give you an example. Our original number sentence would be 610 minus 290. That's not super easy to solve off the top of your head. So what we do is we compensate by creating an easier number sentence or an easier equation, which is 620 minus 300. We did that by compensating both parts with an additional plus 10 or an additional 10. And they both then equal 320. So 610 minus 290, that's our original equation, equals 320. And the simplified equation, 620 minus 300, is also equal to 320. We will do a lot more of this practice in the teacher models to come, so let's get started. Welcome to the first part of the teacher model. Let's begin by looking at our number sentence, 17 plus 12. What is 17 plus 12? 17 plus 12 is 29. What is 17 plus 13? Great. 17 plus 13 is equal to 30. That was really fast. How did you know? Well, we can add one more to 17 plus 12 because 13 is one more than 12. So the answer for 17 plus 13 had to be one more than 29. Now, let's move on to the next part. 17 tens plus 13, well, let's move that over, plus 13 tens is equal to 30 tens. What is the value of 30 tens? Yeah, the value of 30 tens is 300, and I'm going to go ahead and write that down here. So then what is 170 plus 130? 170 plus 130 equals 300. What happened when we added these numbers? Pause the video here and talk to a friend or family member, and then we will talk about it together as a team. Welcome back, my friends. We made a new 100, just like when we added 17 and 13 earlier to make a new 10. We composed a new 100 here, but instead of 31s like we did with 17 plus 13, we have 30 tens instead. It's just like 17 plus 13, except that the place value is different. $30 is the same thing as 31s, and we had 13 ones here, as well as 17 ones here. 170 is the same thing as 17 tens, 130 is the same thing as 13 tens, and 300 is the same thing as 30 tens. For the next part of the teacher model, we are going to be working with this number sentence, 190 plus 120. In the past, we've used mini number bonds to make the next 10. Let's do that here too to make our adding easier when we have hundreds. So our number sentence is 190 plus 120. Is one of these numbers close to the next 100? Yes. Which one? Yeah, 190. What is it close to? Which 100 is it close to? It's very close to 200. How many more do we need to make 200? 10 more. Where can we get that 10 more from? From the, let's take a look, from the 120. That's a great idea. Let's break apart 120 into 110 and 10. Now we can add the 10 from the 120 to the 190. And we know that 190 plus 10 equals 200. So to help us with that, we can even circle it, put a plus sign, and then write a baby 200 right there. What is our new addition problem now? Our new addition problem is 200 plus 110. Talk with a family member or a friend about what you think this number sentence equals, or what the solution and whole of this number sentence is. And then we will talk about it together as a team. Welcome back, friends and families. What does this equal? 200 plus 110 equals 310. I did 200 and 100. And then I added 10. So that equals 310. If place values are helpful for you, you can also think about it in place values. 200 is the same thing as 2 hundreds. 110 is the same thing as 100 and 110 and 0 ones, or 100 and 10 ones. If I have 200 here plus that extra 100 there, that's 300s. And then if I have 110, then I have 110 left to add. Or if I have 10 ones, then I add 10 ones to the 300. Therefore, my solution or my whole is 310. So far, we've only been working with numbers that have 0 in the ones place, so we're going to try something different now. Our new number sentence for this next part is 199 plus 25 equals. What 100 is close to 199? Let me ask that again. Pay close attention to what I'm asking. What 100 is close to 199? Great. 200. 200 is the next 100 that's closest to 199. How far away is it? It's 1 away. We're going to decompose or break up the 25 with a mini number bond into 1 and 24. We can add the 1 from the 25 to the 199 in order to get 200, which is the next closest 100. Our new number sentence is 200 plus 24 equals 224. That's our solution, and it's also our whole. Just like we talked about in our objective, we used mini number bonds to simplify our equation. 199 plus 25 looks very scary, but when we broke up our mini number bonds to make the next 100, which was 200, it became so much easier for us to add because we were able to rewrite it so that it's easier to see and also to add. Moving on to our last part of the teacher model, Let's take a look at our equation. 230 minus 180 equals. And my friends, very quickly, equation means the same thing as a number sentence. It's just a fancier word. So you will hear me using equation and number sentence. They are the same thing. Our equation or number sentence reads 230 minus 180 equals. Now we don't quite know that yet. This problem is a bit challenging, isn't it? Yes, it is. First, let me ask you, what is 250 minus 200? 250 minus 200 is 50. How did you know that so fast? Yep, that's because the hundreds were the same, so 50 is left. It's easy. We just take away 200. If I started at 200 and 50 more is 250, the answer is 50. It's easier to take away the hundreds, isn't it? Yes, it is. So now we're going to go ahead and draw a tape diagram on the board here to represent 230 minus 80, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to do that in red so it's easier for you guys to see. 230 and then 180. My friends, can you tell me how 230 minus 80 and my other problem, 250 minus 200, are related? How might they be related? Pause the video here and then talk to a friend or family member. And then we will talk about it together as a team. Alright, my friends, welcome back. 230 minus 180 is the same as 250 minus 200. I know, that sounds crazy, right? So, the reason why they're the same is we basically just added 20 more to each number. The difference is the same, which is 50. Even though the number sentence is different, they are equal to each other. We call this compensation. We can add the same amount to both numbers to make an equivalent but easier problem. Let's go ahead and add 20 to each bar to change the model from 230 minus 180 to 250 minus 200. Oh, I need to make that bigger. Add 20 more. Add 20 more. Now, how much is each bar worth? The top bar is now worth 250. The bottom bar is now worth 200. We added 20 to each bar to make the problem easy. My friends, when we use compensation, which is adding the same amount to both numbers to make an equivalent number sentence, that means the solution should be the same for our original number sentence. Meaning then that 230 minus 180 is equal to 250 minus 200. They both equal 50. We can double check that. Let's double check and see if 230 minus 180 is also equal to 50 after we use the compensation strategy. Let's take a look. So I'm going to use the arrow way for this one. Starting at 180, I'm going to go up to the whole, which is 230. I'm going to go up to 200, and that was 20 more. Then I'm going to go up 30 more to 230. We've landed at our whole. And you'll notice that it took me 50 jumps to get to 230. So That means that 50 is the correct solution or missing part for 230 minus 180, because it took us 50 jumps to get from 180 to 230. Now let's see if it's going to take us 50 jumps back to get to 180 from 230. Let's jump back 30 to, 30 to get to 200. Let's jump back 20. If we jump back 20, so we did 30 jumps there and then 20 jumps there, that's 50 jumps total. Does that land us at 180? Yes, it does. So with that given, now that we've confirmed that, we're going to go ahead and create we're going to go ahead and create number bonds to show that in fact compensation does work, and a new simplified number sentence will give us the answer to our original number sentence. So, and remember, my friends, with subtraction, this can get really tricky, so just remember to label if you get confused. Our whole would be 250. Our missing part is 200 in this number bond. Our missing part is 50 because we need 50 more. When we add 50 more to 200, we get 250. 230 is our whole. 180 is our part. And it does, in fact, take us 50 to get to 230 from 180. Therefore, this is our, again, I call this our compensation strategy. This is really helpful. It's another way that we can simplify. So far, we've only been working with numbers with 0 1s, so we're going to try subtracting numbers with some 1s in there, okay? Our number sentence or equation reads 321 minus 199. In this problem, I see that the number I am taking away is very close to 200. How much more do I need to add to make 200? I need 1. So, we're going to draw a tape diagram and show compensation for that. Let's go ahead and do that. 321. And then 100 and, we can make this a little bit longer, 199. What is our new problem? If we are using the next 100, yes, that's correct. It would be 322 minus 200. In order to do that, we had to compensate. We had to compensate that with adding, let me make that bigger, adding 1. We compensated by adding 1 to both the top bar and the bottom bar, which represents our whole and our part. That's easier, don't you think? Yes. So, what is 322 minus 200? It is 122. Let's check that with addition, okay? So, let's check that with addition. 122 plus 200. What is the sum, whole, and solution? 322. It works. Because I added the hundreds, which 100 is, there's 100 and 122, so that's 100. And then in 200, there's 200, so that's 300. And then we have 22 ones, or 2 tens and 2 ones. And because our second part, or our second addend, doesn't have any tens or ones, that means that our solution or our whole is going to have 2 10s and 2 1s, or 22 ones. With all of that explained, let's not forget to write our solution at the top for our original number sentence. Remember, our compensation strategy is a simplifying strategy. So then that tells me that my original number sentence of 321 minus 199 is the same thing, or equals, let me write it in green, 322 minus 200. That is because they both equal 122. Remember, the compensation strategy allows us to change our original number sentence into a much easier one to work with. It will give us the same solution. It just looks different and it's much easier to solve. As you get ready to move into independent practice and your exit ticket, please keep these 2 things in mind. On page 71 and 72, remember to make the next 100 with a mini number bond, then rewrite the easier equation. I will have done it with you in the teacher model, so if you need to rewatch that, please do. Number 2, for pages 82 and 83, use the compensation strategy to rewrite an easier equation that is close to the next 10 or to the next 100. And bars will help you, so do the bars or tape diagram like I did. It will help you. Good luck, my friends. And if you don't have access to the worksheet yet, don't forget to click the link in the description box below. It will take you to the worksheet. If you do not have a printer, don't worry about that. Just write down the problems on a separate piece of paper and solve it on your own the best that you can. Good luck. I'm looking forward to seeing all of your work. I will see you all in the next lesson.